Dan, I've already seen this. It's a rough timeline. You'll see, you got the entertainment when the guy who's running the sound is gonna be playing music, when bands are supposed to be playing, and then what's going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And then as we add events, we can add columns and see how they line up. I had sent out an email of the sample that Crystal sent from 2 years ago. And this is a rough draft with our stuff in it. Change the dates, change the events.
Nice.
Yeah. This is the parking ticket that we approved last time. So rather than doing the raffle ticket roll,
Yeah.
looking at, we'll give them a deck in each apron. I think,
First one for that.
and there's a liability statement on every ticket.
SPA or SU.
Yeah.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And then I was thinking if we do the, kind of the tailgating thing along where the truck poles are, they can write TR.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be, they know that's what they paid for.
Right. Gotcha.
Take the truck, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, truck,
You
whatever.
can write the procedures if you want.
Found him, he was lost.
Yeah.
So did we ever set a rain date for the fireworks?
Well, there's automatically in the 14th and.
Oh, Glenn, let me see this. So that's, I had sent on an email of the sample that Crystal sent.
Okay.
I spent some time and put our events in it, our dates, so it's just a first draft. You'll see it has Luana Jim.
I see that in there.
Yeah, no, if we don't have Luana Jim, I easily delete it.
Gotcha. That's good.
The display date is just the next day, 14th to the 15th, rain date is 15th.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I gotta change that.
Yeah. If we have the truck balls on Friday, so the time frame will change also because it's gonna be later tonight, it's not gonna be 5 o'clock when we close. I mean, that just doesn't, I don't.
What's that now? They don't have to
If
Saturday.
it rains on Saturday,
Go to Sunday.
they'll
Saturday.
give them to Sunday.
Yep.
But they can't start the fireworks till like 9:30 when it's dark yet.
Right.
The whole thing closes at 5 o'clock.
Well, the whole, midway and stuff does like that. But everybody's be like over on a softball field and stuff like that. The park's open. I mean, we're all gonna wanna go home, but we may not go home.
So that's a rough draft.
Yeah, that's good. I like it.
That right there is just a working timeline of what's going on in the fair, who's doing what. When the sound guy's playing music, when the band is playing, when the fireworks are
Right
shooting,
on.
when the truck pulls happening. And you'll see, I made a mistake and put the garden tractor and the antique tractor on Saturday, that's on Sunday.
I understand.
So, yeah.
I think before we start this meeting with the marketing company, we should just kind of throw a few ideas of what we can just get them in, you can tell us, put together a price and get back to us ASAP. So I just had written, the first thing I think we want to convey to this fella is that we're replacing our radio advertisements. That's what we voted on last meeting, was not pay for the radio marketing companies. So you wanted to target the Facebook, possibly designer flyers and organize printing them. And I don't have any other ideas other than those two. So that's something obviously they can give us. What are your guys' thoughts before we go into the meeting?
Do they have a good way to get into free community announcements
Yeah.
on TV stations and radio stations? Because I think some of those, it's not advertisement, but it's
It's just a community
just a
announcement, like,
community-
22 News has that mass appeal thing.
Oh yeah, there's that. Then there's like what's the newspaper? Sentinel. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's free.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so free community advertising, that's a good idea, good
Yep.
call. And then obviously they can throw us their ideas. And then again, I think they're probably gonna ask of us, what do we need to get them? And what was our budget again, just so we can set that up?
Well, it was $2,000 for the radio stations, but you know, we don't have to,
Okay, we said 1,000,
you know,
that would,
I
I
think,
think,
No, 100% I'm with you guys on that for sure.
Yeah,
It-
so
it's
it's
just, these companies aren't cheap, but
Oh,
they
sure, no,
but
absolutely.
who they reach is, they know that, like the algorithms and this stuff. And
right.
okay, so I mean, I feel like that's fairly just based. Let's hear what he's got to say. And
absolutely.
yeah, ours.
So would you think that at some point this company, so we should have them take over the website too?
That Facebook page.
Yeah,
I definitely think they'll want access to it,
right.
and I think that's going to be huge for us. I think you're gonna see
Absolutely.
a lot of things.
Yes.
Someone have to keep up. If they're
Right.
willing, if that's something, obviously, everything's.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, but they'll know what other sites what other walls, I guess, they can
Right,
put
exactly.
the
But then,
information.
but they can go on and update, you know, so if we, you know, if we're in a conversation with some of this. Yeah, update this or something.
There's something else to look at. That's
Oh,
all.
pass, nice.
Hey, John.
Hey, Tommy.
About
yeah.
4,000.
Good. How are you? Can you hear us all right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Yeah, we appreciate you, spending the time to, hear kind of what we got going on over here. We're a bunch of new board members for the Granby Charter Days, and we're trying to reach, our customer base. And we've decided this year that we're not going to go for the radio advertisement road and do something more maybe social media based or flyers and stuff like that. So we just kind of to let you know, what our thoughts are and what we would like, and then you can give us some ideas and we can go from there.
That sounds perfect. That sounds great.
Okay, so I don't think you can see us, and I don't really know how to make that happen. So
Can you see me?
yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
So yeah, you're sitting with 6 of the board members, and again, we're looking to replace the radio advertisements, and a few ideas that we had tossed around that you guys could possibly help us manage or create for us was, the use of our Facebook page, social media, possibly form like a flyer, like a small itinerary, that kind of does both. And then we had just spoken about any like free community like announcements in local papers or stuff like that. Any ideas you had, because we're all kind of stumped on that.
Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah,
Um,
it's good to get community involved, of course. That's
Mhm.
always a good thing.
yeah, yep,
Benefits everybody.
for sure.
Yeah. What radio were you doing in the past? And you could just give me a little background on why you decided not to go with radio. I'm just more curious than anything. I'm not saying it's a bad decision. Just curious.
We used 102.1 Wacky and
Yeah.
iHeart,
Okay.
and we're unsure on how effective that is because so many people use Spotify and Pandora in their own stuff now. So
Yeah.
we're questioning the effectiveness.
Yeah, we don't have any tangible.
Yeah, that's always been a problem with traditional media. It's hard to measure, I guess, I suppose if you were having a weekend sale somewhere, handing out $50 bills, I guess you'd probably measure it pretty easily by how many people show up to receive a $50 bill. But the thing with traditional media, it's radio. When I say traditional media, I mean radio, TV, billboard, that kind of stuff. It is hard to measure. The younger audience is definitely finding new ways to listen to music and get entertainment. There's no question there. Radio is not a bad idea, depending on the station, to reach families, reach, the parents and things like that. So that's more of like a branding tool. But the good news is, both younger audiences look at Instagram and older audiences kind of skew towards Facebook. So from a social presence, social media presence, you can accomplish both by running ads in the feeds of people in the area, depending on where you how far out you want to reach, whether it's a 5 mile radius or 5 mile radius with certain zip codes, to reach families, to reach parents, to reach younger children, or I say children, younger kids, younger adults, teens, whatever, and get your message out. So.
Well, what is your opinion on radio? Just curious.
It's the thing with radio is you have to think about it in this way. It's like so like let's say you're using a broadcast station, whether it be 2 News or Channel 40. That's a broadcast station. You're casting a wide net, and they reach pretty much all 3 counties of Western Mass, Franklin, Hampshire, Hampden counties. With radio, if you're using a rock station like Rock 102, you're reaching more of a male audience, obviously. And iHeart, if you're using Mix or Kicks Country, you're reaching more of a female audience. And Kicks is kind of a mix between I would call it an adult station. Primarily, the sweet spot, I guess, most times is 25-54, but probably Rock 102 is probably a little bit older. I would say, I know they're younger kids. I keep saying kids, but I'm just old myself. So, younger adults probably listen to this classic music, but typically if you've grown up around here, and listen to rock too, sort of the U2s of the world, even Aerosmith, some of the bands like, Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, that's still part of Rock 102's, the playlist, I suppose. So you're bringing into maybe people that are maybe 40 plus, 40 to 65, 70 years old on Rock 102. Mix 93.1 is more female. WMAS is more female. That's a Odyssey station. Mix and Kicks are both iHeart stations. Kicks Country is a good country station to advertise on, to reach people, just to get your message out. I think it's a good way, but you have to buy each one individually. It costs a lot of money, is I guess my point. To circumvent that and get to reach all of those different people, regardless of what station, music station you listen to or TV station, it would be social media. Facebook and Instagram would be a great place to get your message out. And what does that mean? So basically, it's an impression-based platform, meaning an impression is a view. Somebody sees it, and you buy on the 1,000 impressions is $15 cost per 1,000. So that means your money can go a lot further by reaching people. We can talk about geography and all of that. I'm certainly be happy to put together a plan for you. But you can reach people regardless of what music format they listen to or what TV station they watch, and or even Spotify or Pandora and the others. And you put your message into their Facebook feed, so when they're scrolling, looking at what's happening, your message shows up. What does your message look like? It's an ad. It basically it can be a couple different things. On the top of the ad, it would be a link to your Facebook page to learn calendar of events. There could be a static image or a video that would automatically play. There could be a carousel ad, meaning there could be a few different images that will came through. And then at the bottom of the ad, there would be a place for them to click and go to a website if you choose to do that. So they can, learn even more about ticket sales, or if they can pre-purchase tickets, learn about the lineup each day, if there's fireworks or whatever might be happening. And you put that into the feeds of thousands of people, and you can keep doing that with frequency, so they'll see it more than once. Over the duration of however long it is they typically want to run the ad for. I would say probably 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, maybe. Depending on your budget. Sorry, I kind of went over a lot of stuff there. So if you
No,
have any
that's good.
questions, please let me know.
No, it's good. So in understanding the budget, what would you get doing something like that for between $1,000 and $2,000?
Yeah, you get. Let's see here. Well, and how long would it run for? What typically do you? How far out do you usually like to?
I'm gonna assume a month to 5 weeks prior. And obviously get more heavy with our advertising the closer we get, but throwing plugs, now. So there's so many different things that we're trying to do. We're trying to not only are we trying to capture an audience to come, but we're also trying to capture an audience that wants to possibly come and compete in like the truck pulls and the oxen pulls, right? So we have some events that we're paying for people to come. We also want to capture vendors and things like that. So starting earlier and doing a few different advertisements isn't out of the question either, because all of those things benefit us. Not just the
Yeah.
people showing. So like our ultimate goal is to get a crowd, but we also have so many things that get us there too as well.
Right. So let me ask you this question. I have a couple thoughts, but how would you get vendors and people that want to participate in the past? How would you reach out to them? Is there like a master mailing list from previous years, or?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've done. It seems very like antiquated in today's world, and I feel as if we're kind of, just kind of spinning our wheels trying to get a lot of people to reach back out to us, because it's like mail and things like that I just feel like there's a more efficient way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have a constant contact list or a list of these folks in an email form? By
No,
any chance?
no.
Okay.
But we do have about 10 of them already locked up.
Yeah. How many would you like to get to? What's the
Like I think we're looking like another 4 or 5.
No,
Yeah.
more than that.
That's not
What-
that's not
what
horrible.
Crystal said was, it's back to back, 10 by 10, back to back,
Yeah.
then 2 rows of them.
Oh, those are the regular. I'm talking food vendors. Sorry.
Oh, food vendors, we're looking for 4, and then for like
Craft.
crafts vendors, stuff like that, and sponsors and stuff, probably another 2
The
dozen.
sponsors.
Yes.
Honestly, because we're really low on them, but we also understand a lot of those people kind of are going to book with us last minute because they're going to look at the weather and things like that too.
Forgive me. When is the when are charter days happen?
Starts the 13th of next month.
June 13th, 14th, and 15th.
And we're a new board. We apologize for being so late. This was like a
That's okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's everything is new and fresh, right? So you
Right.
know it.
Right.
Next year will look even better.
Exactly. Yep.
Or
Yep.
A little more, information and a little more experience under your belt to get things going. It's kind of interesting too, because like I have a friend that she does a lot of stuff over Vanish Valley Brewing. They have a lot of different vendors that they do a lot of different things.
Mhm.
Right now she has like a list of folks. I was even like thinking that, they just had a food truck festival over there a couple weeks ago as well. I'm just trying to think outside the box here, but
Yeah, for sure.
that's what it is. It's people that know people. The vendors know vendors, that whether it's for sponsors, for for crafts and that kind of stuff. That's where you're going to get a lot of your pull, because people will say, hey, that's a really good show, we should go to that. Or if West Springfield has sort of their event out on the green or something, it's sort of like, it seems like they just move around from one place to another.
Yeah, all together.
If there's any festivals happening prior to your festival, it would be good to go there, even if it's you know what I'm saying. Go there,
Yeah.
just introduce yourself to people and hand out business cards.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, I think as far as okay, we get to participation. I mean, that's all stuff that we can run with social media ads. That's easy. As long as we have a few lines of simple text and some images. If you have any video that you have done in the past, that would be helpful as well. We can maybe use some of that. Certainly, if you were looking to think for down the line next year, year after, you could have somebody on site, set that up to have them come out and film.
Yep.
And content. That's obviously an additional charge, but,
Yeah.
but it can be done.
Yep.
So I would say for a couple $1,000s for advertising side of things, for like say 5 weeks, you would be getting at least 130,000 impressions or more, being sets of eyeballs, which is a lot in
Right.
that short duration. And I would assume you would want to let people know. Obviously, Granby, Belchertown, like the surrounding towns. So,
Yes.
how far out do you think you want to pull from? What are your thoughts there?
I don't have.
So we're the first fair of the year. So we tend to pull a pretty big crowd, even out of the hill towns and stuff like that, like up from the Goshen area, Williamsburg, Northampton. Especially if there's like a big headliner band, that we tend to pull more people.
Yeah.
We did not go with a super popular band just 'cause they've already booked for this season, and it's our first season back, so we're trying to like kind of keep it middle of the road. But I would say within like 20 square, does it like a 20 like mile diameter of this area? Does that make sense, or is? Or
Yeah,
what's-
that's if you think about. I have a tool I found on Google. It's just a radius tool.
Yeah, radius.
You can put in your address and you can go by 5, 10, 15 miles, and you'd be surprised how far out. And then you can actually, if you're pulling from an area like that, you say, well, we don't want to go that far up. You can just move the pin over slightly, and it will actually dial in where you want to actually. It'll be the perfect circle that you want to pull from,
Gotcha.
in theory.
Cool.
You know, and
Yeah,
do
we
it that
might
way.
want
But I would say, I
up the
mean,
Pike or something.
you say 20 miles, you're talking about like Enfield. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably made it quite that far. Okay, we'll maybe just shrink it down a little bit. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe 15
yeah,
miles.
you know,
Maybe 15,
we-
but-
we represent like, you know, like Jerry's Music Shop, for instance, you know, and we do like a 10-mile radius for them. That's
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for us, the more the merrier for sure. Because obviously, the more people we bring in, the more interest we're going to get next year, and it's going to be easier for us to, keep the show afloat. So, yeah, whatever you think's appropriate, kind of why we're reaching out, because all
Yeah.
these things, as we're volunteers, we leave here, we're pretty busy, but it's really nice to have somebody that's got all the answers for those silly things. Where,
Well,
you know,
we try.
Yeah.
We have a lot of clients, and we have a lot of solutions we can use.
Right.
It's not really about what we have, what we can do. It's about what the need is. So,
sure.
one of the things too is, you can run sort of a contest, if you will, as one of the ads or on the page that people like, comment, and share on your page.
Yep.
They register to win something. So the more people that will share the Granby Charter Days lineup or whatever the ad might be that you're putting out there, even if you guys are posting on your own. Again, this is something like what we're gonna probably end up doing is reaching a lot of people that don't know about it. But
Right.
if you guys have people that already know, we're gonna just keep driving people to your Facebook page or your website. You tell us where you want to send them, and that's what we're gonna send them.
Yep.
More information. But if you guys are posting like that to get people to share, that's where you're gonna get your reach. And I mean reach, like maybe let's say we're not in Goshen necessarily. Maybe that falls outside the 5-mile radius. Well, somebody's cousin lives in Goshen, or somebody on their Facebook friend lives in Goshen, or lives in Williamsburg, or whatever the case may be, and that's where you're going to get that additional reach.
Okay.
It kind of happens by osmosis. You can just kind of feel that people are letting people know and inviting people to go and all that kind of stuff. So
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, would you, in this whole thing, you would design the graphic for it, kind of, and then the ad itself? That's not something we would do. You would do that?
yeah, all I need
Awesome.
from you folks is you tell us, you give us, I'll send over an email, like John, if the email we've been communicating
Sure.
on is good. I'll tell you what I need. It's
Yep.
just a couple lines of simple text, some images, really good images you want to use.
Okay.
We'll build out what the ad is going to look like.
Okay.
Send it back to you for approval. You'll take a look. You say, I'm not so sure I want this, or maybe you say I love it. Whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then we send it live once you guys are good with it, and we can change it too as time goes on.
Okay.
So we already have a rough draft of kind of a schedule of events, what bands are playing, how much parking is,
Yeah.
and we have the logo for the firework company.
Yep.
So we can send you stuff like that.
Yeah, so what you have to think about is, and I think that's all great, don't take this the wrong way, less is more.
Mm-hmm.
What we want to do is have some real simple, when it is, admission, whatever, maybe there's a little tidbit, maybe there's a firework thing, just
Yeah.
fireworks last night. Maybe we do a carousel ad where there's 3 pictures, that just rotate through automatically. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to send them to your Facebook page where they can learn all of that information. What the bands are, what the vendors are, what the beer company is, the rides, cost of it, tickets, whatever you want to put on there. Let's steer them to that so they can go there.
Well, this is just one person speaking, but I would just assume give you all, a whole bunch of information, and then you guys, who are the experts,
I see what you're saying.
decide what is the best eye candy for
Yeah.
these social media
Yeah,
sites.
Right.
okay, I got you. I thought you were saying like, let's put it all in an app, but no, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, no, no,
I
you can
love
pick
it.
and choose.
Yeah, you guys pick and choose what you want, and then
Would you tweak our
Sure.
Facebook page
Okay.
too? You would, set it up so it's flows and it's easy to read.
Well, our Facebook page can have all the details, but
Correct.
the
But is
splashes-
that something you would be able to do? Is kind of update it with the information we've given you, or is that something we would
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll have a schedule of ads, so like say the first week, like that's why I think the rotation is nice if you do a carousel ad,
Mhm.
because you can say a little bit more if people are interested, it'll scroll on its own, like you can set the duration too, like every 2 seconds, every 3 seconds.
Gotcha.
It'll kind of, and then we can drop in new information, but maybe some of the stuff like as a general message screen, one of the ads is a general message.
Cause I don't think we're looking
A
to
couple other ones that might
make a
highlight.
website, we just wanna leave
Yeah.
it
No,
on
I-
Facebook.
Yeah, just the Facebook is I feel like our kind of our main thing. I feel like it seems to hit a lot of
I
people.
wouldn't wanna have you guys do a great ad and then go to this crappy Facebook page.
Right.
So
We have one of our guys, one of the guys already looked at your page. Yeah, he's diving into all of that stuff. So
Perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
you're,
one of my thoughts was with this all thing, the advertisement, the ads that you're putting out is awesome, and exactly what my thought was driving everybody to come look at our Facebook page. So because our Facebook page is kind of so bland, we haven't really done a ton with it. Would you guys be? So we have this old flyer with all. Basically, it's just like it's like a one-page flyer, and it says Saturday this goes on, Sunday this goes on. Okay, and then with a few pictures on it. Would you guys be able to make that so it's updated with all the information if we give it to you, and that way we can make that our home, like Facebook picture. So when people look at our Facebook page, they click on that, and it's just an update exactly what's going on. This band's playing, blah blah blah.
yeah, we can. I have a graphic designer that can pull that all together. We'd have to an hourly charge. I can get your quote on a price to do that. If you want.
Okay, that's something that we kind of we have one. It's just older and would be nice to update. But anyways,
Yeah.
I appreciate
Send
that.
that over, and I'll forward. His name is Matt Penza. He's unbelievable.
Okay.
He's a graphic designer. And I'll just say, hey, here's what they're looking to do, or you tell me what you want. The flyer, this is what we'd like to do. I'll just send it straight to him,
Uh-huh.
and when he'll come back with a couple mock-ups, if you will, and you can say, I like this one more than that one, or whatever, and then.
Okay.
And then I'll give you a quote on what it's going to cost.
Yeah, because like we gotta kind of keep money in mind too, because this is our first year.
Yeah.
We're just trying to stay,
Yeah,
but we
we're
want to
gonna-
get out there as much as possible.
We're going to keep it under $1 million, I promise.
Love it.
All right, 1,000,000 pennies.
Yeah.
That's good. Good, good, good.
A million pesos, a million.
Yeah.
So, like with some, besides the fireworks, like we list in our schedule of events, the Mass Truck and Tractor Pull Association, for our Facebooks, I think it'd be good to have a couple of photos of some of
Yeah.
the cool trucks there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
that
Yeah, that's a
There-
big draw.
that's
Yeah, I
a
can
big
get
draw.
those,
The
yeah.
kids see that stuff and like, oh, I want to go to that.
Yeah, I can get you all that.
What you can do on your side is you guys should post that stuff. That
Mm.
should be just a regular. I would start doing that stuff now. Start generating some interest. Just make Facebook posts with that information.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
If you're interested in participating, contact this email. You know what I mean? Write
Gotcha.
a post. If you
Okay.
know somebody, looking for vendors, looking for sponsors, like that stuff that you can do, a couple times a week, outside of what we're gonna do.
Perfect. Yeah. True. Okay. Yep.
That just starts to generate interest. I live in Granby myself. I'm on Barton Street, but I know when I turn onto Amherst Street, sometimes there's always a Granby Charter Day sign right there, or like a lawn sign. So it just says the dates, more than anything. But that's what to me. I've been here for 23 years, and it's like all those things that just make you feel like, oh, it's summer or it's spring. I mean, like it's little things that happen. You're just like, okay, here we go.
Right. Awesome. Well, thanks for all the information, and I think we'll be waiting on some numbers from you, now that you know what we're kind of looking to do, and
Yeah, send over that flyer.
You have the email, right, Chuck?
I do.
Yeah, send over your flyer. We'll get some quotes going on that.
Okay.
As far as the Facebook stuff, I think, you know, if we're gonna run, I'll put together a little bit more of a
Please, yeah.
overview, if you will, for that. And then what's needed and that kind of thing, I'll get that over to you tomorrow morning, if that's okay.
Yeah, that works.
And then we'll get rocking and rolling.
All right. Well, we appreciate it.
That sounds great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Tommy. We'll see you.
so much. And I know there's John, but who else is on? Who else?
Um,
Is there?
Steve Saborin, Taylor Street.
Martin the Liberty, Bachelor Street.
Glen Durham, North Street.
Dan Paquin, Lynn Drive.
Randy Gavin, New Ludlow Road.
Leora Bergeron, West Street.
Kim Kibbe, Griswold Circle.
Griswold.
Awesome, guys. Nice to meet everybody. That's great.
Okay. Have a good one.
And thank you, appreciate it, sir.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bachelor Street, North Street, it's all kind of like one big happy family, you know?
So what we miss? Anything good, guys?
Everything, good lord.
Yeah, sorry we're late, we're in a volleyball game.
Yeah, Granby volleyball.
How'd they do?
They
And
won.
they won
Excellent.
by the skin of their teeth. They
Yes,
did.
they did.
That's all right, we'll take it. Win.
Exciting.
Yep.
So I'll edit this further, and I'll send it to John so you can send it on.
Yep.
Glenn, did you get Buona Jim?
I have emailed him, no, I'm actually doing another email right now.
Oh, yeah, I'll take him off the list for now.
I think that'd probably be a good idea.
So what I did, I took the sample that I emailed everybody.
Yeah.
And I did hours. So this is what we have so far. I have the parking, I have the vans, the truck to poles, the garden tractor poles,
That was awesome.
change the years. But we're gonna send this to this marketing company that John connected us with. And
Oh, yeah.
they're
we got
gonna
the marketing.
they're gonna take some of this, they're gonna work on a draft to upgrade our Facebook page.
Fantastic.
Okay.
And also, they're gonna work on a budget.
Yeah, a budget for us or what, you know,
Well-
and then they're just gonna start reaching audiences the
That's
special way,
fantastic.
and that's the
Yeah.
hardest part. And but they also said on our end, if we could keep blasting pictures of trucks and be like Friday night, fireworks, simple things like that. But they're gonna do like carousel ads and stuff and have them
Nice.
timed and
But
so.
he gave us a figure of $15 per thousand
100
impressions.
Thousand
impressions.
impressions.
For a thousand impressions. So it's basically, it's gonna show up a 1,000 places for $15.
Which
And then, so he talked
Can't
about,
beat it.
Dude,
he
no.
talked about
Can't
in
beat it.
what we gave him, what did he say? Like 300,000 people.
yeah,
We'll see
it
this.
was, yeah, it was incredible, yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow.
But that's how it is nowadays.
That's how it is.
And
I
that's
said we try to
because,
go
we
with
have
it.
to just figure out the radius we wanna go out.
Yeah.
Which the 15 miles I'd say is probably the best, cause that would drop you from Springfield, throughout Ludlow, you know, the whole surrounding area.
Yeah. it's very-
If you go 20 though, now you're going into Connecticut and
Yeah, well, I don't think.
Yeah. Right.
You know, we could move the circle, I think.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's just pinpointing, you know, the radius doesn't have to be.
yeah,
You
you
could
know,
augment it.
just like
Yeah, you
a
can
little
move
bit
it so
more
it's
to
the
the
bottom.
bottom.
Yeah, you don't have to,
Get out more
you
towards.
don't have to be in the center of the circle.
No.
You just take a 15-mile circle and putting it somewhere
Yes.
in
Up and
your
down.
pin.
Right.
So, we can adjust that as time goes. I think the big thing, yeah, definitely on Facebook, and then they'll probably,
Facebook
Think he would-
overhaul.
well, I think he would keep track, they will keep
That's
track
gonna
of
be cool. We could
hits
do
and
Kim.
how many
That's gonna be
people are
awesome.
Yeah.
coming on, so we'll see that if there's a surge of people clicking on the
Yeah, we keep
on the
track.
page, we know we're getting, it's working.
Yeah, so as long as it's not outrageous, I think it'd be a really good move. Hopefully, in the fellow Granby, you know,
I
helps out a
know,
little
that's
bit.
what I was really hoping. I'm gonna follow up with the email.
Yeah, well, you know, he knows our budget a little bit, so.
Right, right.
I gotta come build a shed for you. Come on.
Yeah.
Allen Media.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
So the other thing, you guys can see, this is just first cut. I'm gonna keep adding to it as we get new stuff, but
Okay.
everything that's happening. This is a parking ticket, about 4,000 of them.
That's awesome.
Nice, smart.
Love that. Spread it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that-
Northeast Paving is gonna donate the light towers,
All six.
Okay.
all 6.
The
And
only,
they're gonna fill them with, the only thing he said, that he's gonna have them filled with diesel,
Yes.
but just for refilling,
We
they can't,
can-
yeah,
that-
like,
that's-
so
that's
they'll
in our
come all
budget, I
filled.
think, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple diesel.
Mhm. And they're still gonna donate too,
No, that's
to go
perfect.
through like the departments.
Will you guys ever get a hold of, what was it, the Polish
There you
National
go.
Guard?
I went down there,
Yeah.
yep, and I spoke, with Lisa. And they are gonna donate, she said they have till May 30th, I guess that's what was on the
Yeah.
paper. So, they will be donating for what, I don't know how much, and they did ask, to potentially put like a tent or something for like a half a day on
Sure.
Saturday, do
Yeah.
some raffles.
Sure.
What's this
It's
for?
fine.
Polish National.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
like a
that's
little
fine
swag,
with
like
us.
little, like a little
I mean,
beer goose.
They're gonna get back to me if they're gonna do the tent, they're gonna do something, they're not really sure.
If
100%
they
yet.
wanna do it, we're more than happy to let them.
Yeah.
And I called a bunch of people too, and it's just, they know the date of May 30th, so they're like, just kinda.
So
They're
Kid,
still
how
gonna
much
come
would
in,
be
but-
He's giving you? Did you say donation? I missed
They
it.
didn't tell me, but they're, usually good for 1,000. So fingers
Yep.
crossed, that's what we're hoping for.
So I heard from our flagger folks, loyal flaggers. So we got two choices here. So when they worked those 2 years ago, they had 4 guys flagging for us, right, parking cars. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the budget that you had said was like $1,500. If I'm not mistaken.
That was the past.
That's what we had in the past, so I went up a smidge. So he said, you know, do we want to go with 4? Or, you know, I was like, you know, maybe show me 6 too, because I'm thinking, hoping that with the slim down parking pass situation, we can actually get people in faster. So we might
Right.
need more flaggers, maybe. I don't know. So if we do 6, we're at $4,320. $4,320.
What did I have in the budget for that?
$1,500.
Wow.
So we're a little off.
6 flags.
That's for 6.
For one night or what? what
That
is
no, that's for 16 hours. Looks like so that would be both Friday night and Saturday.
When do, in the past, as people said that we've lost count of cars and stopped charging just to get them off the road?
Usually Saturday evening.
So do you think that it would be smart for us, instead of putting 2 people, a person taking money and a person giving the tickets, we do 4 and we can split the cars 2 lanes?
That's what they were doing.
Oh, so we had 4 people
Yes.
taking
Yeah,
money?
but
Okay.
no, there's 2 people taking money
Right,
2 people handing out tickets.
and handing out tickets, but it
Two
wasn't
lanes.
4, it was the same person that was taking the money was giving you a ticket.
right.
And they weren't the flaggers, those were volunteers.
Well, that's what I was just wondering, if we added volunteers just for the evening. But like you're saying, if it gets so crazy and we need.
The cops are just like,
Yeah,
let 'em in,
yeah, yeah.
let 'em in. So
I just didn't know if you could get the cars side by side and then
Yes.
you could get 2 rows.
we had 2 coming in, and
Okay.
then like they were kind of going off, and like it was kind of weird. Like, you know, sometimes the first car or the first person would get the car, and then the second person. Sometimes that car would get passed, go to the second person. So now you're asking, oh, hey, did you pay? Hey, did you pay? Hey, did you pay? And
But it
you
should be
Well,
the
now,
one
yeah,
person
my
taking
dad
the money,
gets
hands you a
those
ticket,
tickets.
the person tears it.
So
Yeah.
is it
Yeah.
is it the parking that takes the
Yes.
while, or is it the taking the money that takes?
it's both. It was the confusion of, has this person paid yet? You know, do they have their little red ticket? And it was, and then yeah, you get people making change. That takes some time.
So what it should be is the person taking the money hands you a ticket. Go to the next person further down the line, so that way they just turn around, tear the ticket, give you your piece back with a F or an SA or SU on it.
So yeah, so it's just a matter of like whoever's at the gate taking the initial money, right? Okay, go see that guy right there in the orange shirt. All right, you sir, you go see the flaggers. And
it?
that's
These
What-
are,
What was the time span that they did it? Glenn, from what I understood, the flaggers weren't there they were there for the busy part.
they're the prime time, yes. So Friday night we start parking at what, 5:30, right? Or 5? 5.
Yep.
Okay. So Friday night at 5, they're gonna need to be there to start taking in the traffic. So it's gonna get busy quick. And then Saturday during the day, I don't think we particularly need them early. What time does
And Sunday, we don't need them at all.
Sunday? We don't even know. Right. So I'm going to assume that's what that means. 60 hours.
Yeah, but they're not there 16 hours.
No, they're not.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out real quick. so just bear with me for 1 second.
Because if you have it
I literally, this just came my email,
Yeah.
so that's why.
5 till, say, 10 at night on Friday, because you got, well, I'd say maybe
No.
10:30.
They're already there.
The truck pull.
They're leaving by then.
We don't need anybody parking cars at 10 o'clock at night.
So 5 to 9, and then,
I mean,
Saturday would be.
They may
5
have a minimum of how long they want the guys to,
Yeah,
they're
I
not,
think
they,
I think they have a minimum. I think that's what you're running into.
So what's
So-
do you have the price plan for four?
essentially we would just take, so it's essentially $720 a guy, basically,
Okay,
so.
alright.
So take 1440 off of 4320. So he wants to math that real quick.
I mean, on Friday, do we even park in the grass lot?
Oh yeah.
Friday's big because of the fireworks.
Well, Friday is.
I mean, not
the-
Friday, the truck pulls are Friday.
Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
about Friday.
So with Friday, are we gonna have the VIP parking?
Yes.
So that's gonna, then that's gonna make the other lot busier.
So are we making a motion to do 4 instead of 6?
Somebody, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I think-
I'm just, I'm good with 4, it's fine,
So
so.
we tried 4, you know,
Throw some
see how
volunteers
it
in
worked.
there.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
That's what we're hoping for, you know,
Yeah.
years. And these are flaggers, so they're really just parking the cars, so they
Right.
have some experience. You know, they should be able to park them quickly. The harder part is the volunteers who's gonna take the money. So you're saying have 2 people together?
Yeah, I was figuring 2 crews doing tickets and money
And 2 people in each crew.
part, not this way, so we
Right.
get all screwed up this way. So you
But it's
got
like-
send a car that way, you can send a car that way. That way you can get, instead of
Yeah.
just 20 cars off the road, you can get 40.
Right.
And it's
Well,
the
yeah,
same distance.
split
So
it up,
do it like
yeah.
they do it at the Big E, you go up when you pay, they're giving you your ticket, the next person tears off that one half part of the ticket and gives you back the other part.
Correct.
But I think Glenn was saying that they did the 2 rows, or you did the 2
They were,
rows.
yeah, they had
already.
2 rows coming in, and it kind of divulged into chaos fairly quickly.
Absolutely. I'm
Some
just
of it-
wondering-
you
I'm
still
just-
got
But
to
some
have
of
to
it,
do
some of it was,
The lack of
according to
volunteers.
the ladies who were here, one of the meetings, it was
Yeah.
the rolls, it was
Yeah.
very cumbersome.
The roll,
Pull it
yeah.
off the roll, rip it,
Right.
so this is why we paid a little more, they got a deck.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Here you go.
Faster.
So 4 is gonna cost us 2880.
It's more.
And that's for
A lot
16
more.
hours, you said?
According to them, yes, but that may be
So we'll
the
have to
minimum
find out.
they pay their guys, 8 hours for a day, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can certainly counter that back and be like, hey, could you, break down the hours for me and explain
Yeah,
it to me?
definitely.
Okay. Cause they don't need to be there all day.
If the hours are open for what we need, what are the hours that we would need?
5 to 9, 5 to 9.
Okay.
On both
Yeah, both
Friday and
days.
Saturday.
You don't think that
They just
having
need
a
hours.
couple guys there park the car so that we start a good row throughout
ever
the
see
day
their
would be
row?
efficient? No.
You ever see their road that they park?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, that's what I mean, I would think the flaggers have experience, they know.
No, those flaggers I'm talking about, I've seen their road goes like this, it's not a straight line.
Okay, that's what I was assuming, that they would have experience to be one less thing we all have to worry about for a small
Right.
price for a full day to get
So
people
definitely,
going.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely,
Maybe we could like, maybe we
I don't
could
think
like try to,
Run a
thank somebody
Something
else.
line,
Something.
you know, the same lunch truck they use for baseball.
Right.
Yeah.
Pick up a bag of powdered lime and just run a
I
straight
think
line.
there's a contractors.
So we're talking 2 guys coming off of 202 on Kendall Street and 2 guys at the Kendall Street
We
entrance.
actually had all 4 at one, and then when that was full, we moved them over to the other one.
That's how you did it.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if we open them both up though, wouldn't it be quicker?
I don't think they open them both at the same time, do they?
Kendall Street gets filled first.
Yeah,
Yeah, we gotta fill those.
That's right, so when Kendall Street's full, then you move those guys over to the gas plant. So, and this is where we use some guidance from our predecessors, we use a little guidance there. Alright, so I will see if we can have these guys for a shorter period of time than the, we'll see what he says about that, so I will kick that back down tonight. Alright, so,
10
it's,
hours, 4 guys.
right,
but now they're sending me the cardboard, show things for Granby Charter Day. you know, with Vanilla Amusements on it, the days that we're having it. I should have it like next Wednesday or Thursday.
Nice.
You ordered them on Monday. There's
Has he
100
paid yet?
Contract doesn't state he has to pay till whenever. It doesn't actually say on there when he's supposed to pay. I'll look at it again, but
Doesn't surprise me. I did reach out for some, petting zoos, and it's extremely expensive. And I've gotten, emails back for, it's, quite a few $1,000s per day.
Oh,
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe a business, nobody wants to go in, but,
yeah.
I was kinda hoping
So we're making the motion, let's start doing this officially, right? We're making a motion
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we're not gonna do a petting zoo.
I'll second that.
I second that.
Yep.
All in favor?
Cheers.
Yeah.
Aye.
Alright. All in favor of thanking John?
Oh, yeah.
Aye.
They're gonna be happy, they get a field trip.
Right. All the fresh grass they want, right? So we'll do, get those back for those. Reach out to our boy.
Mandy, Nutmeg concession was, did you see that email?
yeah.
Okay, I didn't respond to
Yeah, neither did I. I
Okay,
didn't cash a check for a reason. We didn't take them because somebody else had their check, other people had their checks in before, in contracts.
Yeah.
Before they sent theirs in. They sent theirs in, but they wanna do everything other people are already doing,
okay,
which we can't do that, so.
cause I know the,
Told only one of each, so I already have, concession for the truck pulls for Friday night.
we do have one,
Yes, DNL concession,
okay, DNL's doing it?
yes.
Okay, good,
He's done it in the past, he said,
So what do they
$200,
offer? Just a burger?
burgers, fries, hot dogs, stuff like that.
oh, good, cause I was looking for one for Friday.
Yeah, so he'll be there, that's the only thing he's there for is one night only.
One nice.
Yes.
Perfect.
That's taken care of it.
You.
So, yes, that
I know,
part's,
So you gonna do a contract for that?
yeah. But I sent him in there, note in there that, don't worry about what the price says there, we already made an agreement on the price of $200,
Right.
so,
Great.
Good,
Yeah, free hamburgers, right?
no.
that's it?
Come on, Randy, come on,
Did
man.
you see the other new one from Mosier? He has a
So,
couple
yes.
other ones.
So yeah, so originally they asked, I was gonna ask you about that, cause I had reached out to them about doing, all four. They had offered, cause they had other,
Yeah.
food there and we are, a little short on
Gyros and
food vendors.
pitas, tacos and nachos, and then sausage, cheese, steak, hot dogs, and hamburgers. We can't do the American variety one.
No, so Mosher's had, Greek, Mexican, nachos, and,
Mexican.
I forgot what the last one was, I don't have my.
It was something else, this is Mosier's. Which they
But,
sent
so they
us-
only wanted to do two though.
But they just sent us in another thing, they already sent us the contract.
So they sent two, so they switched, so what they did was they switched the trucks that they wanted to bring.
Uh.
So they were gonna bring, we agreed on, the, Greek and Mexican. And then they switched from the Greek to the nacho truck.
Okay.
That's what they wanna bring now, and they sent in a check for 800. Did you get that, Steve?
I'm sorry, I was listening.
He
to
just
That's
got
okay.
this, yeah, he just got a $400, they sent in two $400 checks,
Okay,
so.
and
Who
then
are
we
you
need one
speaking of?
water, Mosher.
Mosher.
Yeah, Mosier,
Yeah, I never agreed to the last one up, cause we already have, Dino's, right? Is Dino's doing that?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah, no truck.
so,
Yeah,
Mosier,
nachos slash
Mosier
nachos.
sent in $400.
twice.
I only got,
Oh, okay, so he owes another 400.
He
Does
said
have
that
a budget?
he asked.
He needs one, for, one of the trucks needs water.
Yes, correct.
right, I put it in my statement that I
Yes.
gave you guys the last meeting that they paid for one
One,
non-water. You told me
Yeah,
it was actually a deposit for both,
yeah, cause that's what was written down in the memo.
right,
so
so
Mosier
they owe
needs-
us $500 is what I
Yeah.
have here.
Alright, Mosher 500.
So we'll email him tonight, one of us.
Okay.
I'll email.
And they're not doing more, cause there was some texting going on that they might do more trucks.
So, yeah, that's what we were just talking about, yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Um,
And I haven't
Yeah,
heard back from
And,
him.
and actually, this is, Hart owes 500 for water. Mosier owes 400, cause
Okay,
they are having two non-water sites. Hart was having one water, one non-water. Right, so
No,
I'm
Mos-
using the term,
Mosier has one water.
Mosier has one water, one
Definitely,
non-water.
yes.
They just sent us an email on that.
okay,
So if they changed it, that's,
Hart Mosier,
has two trailers.
one water, one non.
so they're both the same.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll change that in my notes.
So they both owe 500.
I think Hart's owes, what did Hart?
They both owe 500.
Both owe 500.
Just text me that later so I can send them both emails on that part. We'll go to 500, right?
Can't you take notes?
Oh, I forgot my pad at home, I forgot my pad, I forgot the new porta potty
You know, I'll just
contract, which
send
I bring to town tomorrow morning.
Yeah, they both owe
This new
500.
contract tomorrow morning, the contracts,
Isn't it fun? Randy, I'll send them right now, that way we don't have to.
alright, but I don't understand, they've been contracts, we vote on who we want in, and then we still have to have the select board to vote on.
That's for
It's-
sure.
It's, yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
The wheels of government.
Yeah.
So when does that have to be, you're gonna, who's doing that?
Tomorrow I'm bringing in the rest of the contracts I have, Monday I have to go sit in front of, the select board to go over them.
Yeah, okay.
I think they're gonna go over it on Monday too about the alcohol. And
Yes.
possibly allowing us to be
Yeah.
within the 60 days.
Right.
I know we're all volunteers, but I think it'd be appropriate if we went.
I will definitely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, cause it's gonna just help. I mean,
Definitely
Time is
attend
up.
as well.
It's, I don't have the time.
5:30 or
5:30, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the email, there's an email for it, I think, no, not yet, Kathy didn't send it to me.
Monday the
Well,
9th, that sounds right.
Send it,
Yeah,
yeah.
even
No.
just if a few of us went.
Monday the 5th,
Good idea, John.
and then I'm bringing,
5-9 at what time?
I'll message everybody
I
tomorrow
believe
after I
it's
stop into
generally
town
like
hall.
5:30 is the select board.
Yeah, I know mine, my time to go up and speak was at 6:45 Tuesday,
Yeah, so you're.
Tuesday.
this past Tuesday,
Oh, it's past it, that was Monday.
29.
Gotcha. Yeah, and so we're on that subject for the beer vendor, yeah. Speaking with him, I kinda left it pretty vague, other than he's aware of all the costs that he has to, obviously all the alcohol, all the employees, the tent is optional for him. Paying for the police and obviously all this insurance and stuff. Our guidance will be to set up the perimeter.
What are we charging them?
Yeah, that would be the bigger, I was, for this year, I thought, we start off, I know it's low, but if we were in, like, what we got, the donation from the Legion, it's
Yeah.
500 once.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to go higher. I think it's better, but I agree with you at this point. I think we just need to
Yeah,
get
just
them
if we
here.
can get it and get
It's gonna
there,
help create
Yeah.
the show that we're looking for. The
And we
atmosphere.
can, somehow ask or say we need to see some sort of revenue, not revenue, but how much was,
report on how much you
And
made.
just be honest, like you said, be like, look,
Yeah.
So are you making the motion that we charge Leadfoot 500 if it gets approved?
yes.
yes.
Is anybody seconding
I'll
it?
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
Yeah, that's essential. That's awesome, you got them to do that.
The overall experience with the big show will help,
Yep.
And so, yeah, so we gotta try to apply some pressure, whether it's at the meeting or.
Yeah, we do, we need that.
Alright, Monday at, 5:30?
It starts a little after 5, but I'm not sure what
When we
time
get
they're gonna
put on
get
the
called
agenda,
up. I
They'll
won't know
let us
until
know.
yeah,
Bill has.
Kathy says.
Probably by tomorrow.
so Randy, will Leadfoot need the same contract? $500? Even though it's not a water site? They do have power, right? But-
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
there's
they
a
have a
big,
50 amp.
50 amp power supply.
Yeah.
I don't know what we have for beer contract, none.
It
We
was
didn't
like
have a
just a
contract
handshake.
about the beer.
Yeah, cause there was no fee, basically it was
Yeah,
a
we never had.
suggested donation, I believe, is
Yeah,
what, or
Yeah.
what they gave was a donation, so there was really no.
Contract
nothing
fee or
like
nothing.
that For a contract.
So I think it's good if once we know it's approved,
Right,
that,
yeah.
I mean, you know, if they do approve it, we should show a lot of gratitude.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Then we can just roll out the contract right away. Like
Sure.
next day.
So we'll have to develop a contract. Have one.
Yeah, I mean,
The what?
just change it to $500
Beer,
for the
contract.
beer tent for 3
Right,
days.
Did I look at what, Randy?
There is hours in there
It
of
has nothing to
operation.
do with us.
Specific.
Board of Health, did they email us?
Yeah, we
I
would
know
also
I had
just
talked
state.
with them, a couple of times trying to find out, follow up on the, food vendors.
Which I'm sure in the
And
application.
there's something about the water.
There has to be something.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
asked
in the
about the water.
original documentation we got in our very first meeting with Bristol, there was some
This is such a
guidelines
facility,
in there, and I
something
don't think
that
they
showed the
changed.
layout. I've never gotten it, but,
No.
this is all their thing is for mobile food permits. It's in, there's an email from them.
Oh, yes, I think I sent this.
Yeah.
Maybe, I think I sent this to the vendors already,
Oh, okay.
but I haven't talked to them last night, I only, people were, I think.
Bruiser's Barbecue is supposed to send me a copy of their, safe certification.
I have, yeah, we have that on file.
Okay.
We have,
The insurance, I'm getting the copy of the insurance from, Benelli's, copy of the insurance from Bruiser's Barbecue, like I said, I'm getting
I did send an email to all the food vendors last week, asking for, the Serve Safe, the allergen, the Board of Health, and their common vic. And I know that there was a couple people that were waiting to, go to the select board for their common vic.
And, Randy, so you had said, you need a reminder about Mosher, so Hart owes 500.
No, she just,
I just emailed.
Okay, but I wanna tell you, some other people owe money.
Okay.
Mosher owes 500, Hart owes 500, Batch Ice Cream owes 400.
that's space.
Yes, I have not heard anything back from them.
So they may not be coming.
Well, they said they were, but
They only have until the 8th to pay for their spa. If their
Okay.
spa isn't paid for by the 8th, then
All right, and then of course Finelli.
I'll reread the contract tonight to see what's going on with that.
no, I believe you're right, Randy. The 8th.
I know it's the 8th because I put the date on the contract.
There you go.
And after it's all done, I already have the contract for next year, for the next 3 years set up from 2026, 2027, 2028 to send out to other contractors, other shows. The vending thing has to be gone completely over and redone. It needs to be set by square footage. Because it says for an extra 10 feet. So they're automatically arguing with you, well, I'm only adding 10 more feet this way. So they're not, there's nowhere on there does it say square foot.
It's very big.
Your 10 by 10 is 100 square feet. Now you get a 20 by 20, there's 400 square feet. You should be paying 4 times the amount. But this is their argument is, well, the way it's worded,
Was that the clothing vendor?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is what they charged me before. I can't,
That's
Someone just sent the
whoever said that was.
beer vendor.
Was that you?
Yeah. Of course it was.
Yeah.
It's like you can't get there. I mean, kids think I got an answer for that.
All right.
I mean, just more details, so
Perfect.
that was just a quick.
That was just quick.
Yeah.
It's all
So-
popular all over.
Where are we at with the dumpster?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I haven't heard back.
So I emailed, Waste Management again and, to follow up on the dumpster and She said she still hasn't heard back from management. She will contact us, when she hears.
And who's that?
Waste management,
I'll
That was
go-
for
I'll
the
drive down there,
donation.
it's just down the street from my house.
that was for the, it's for
30-yard
the
dumpster.
donation, for the dumpster. But I
They
don't
do
know,
the town, but they do the town of Granby, so
What
that's
was-
why they,
but where were the trash barrels coming from?
no,
We
no,
have
that was an
them.
accident, that was a
We have them
mistake.
in our shed at.
We had,
Yeah.
I didn't know we had them in
Okay.
the
We
shed,
got a pile of
Okay, so it's just a dumpster.
just the dumpster, flat out.
We do have a backup for waste management does fall
them. Oh,
through.
perfect. Who is it?
Westover trash removal?
But that, yeah, that was those state.
Well, but that had all the trash
Yeah.
barrels and all that stuff too.
Did you want to reach out to them and see if they give us an answer prior to the waste management?
I mean, I have no
Because it says
standby.
on our thingy.
Well, that was
in
for
May
two
that we need to
15-yard
get that locked in.
dumpsters.
Let me see,
It says
pull up.
end of May, call for dumpster drop off on Friday and pick up on Monday. Call to remind a free 20-yard dumpster provided. But it doesn't say for who the vendor was. But it just said that was in our May timeline that she gave us for the meeting.
Yeah, we did follow up on
Yeah.
the dumpster,
The
but
dumpster, for 1 minute it was, I'm waiting for management to get back to me, and
they still have not. So we're trying for a free one. If we
Yeah.
don't get that, then we are gonna have to pay for a dumpster.
And that's your backup is the Westover? And they
yes.
would- Okay, cool.
Yes.
Do you know what the price is?
My
It's
brother-in-law
about
has a
$1,000
dumpster business.
I did send, no, that was for all the
Do you wanna
trash
reach out
barrels
to him
too.
right now?
So just a
Just like-
dumpster.
yeah,
maybe
just
like
reach out and then
$400
we'll
or
see.
something.
We look for two
Yeah, I
15
think
yard.
I did submit it. I don't know.
It says 120, but 215 would probably be better.
Call him right now. Yeah.
Oh, you actually got a quote for,
I
Yeah.
handed in the estimate.
Already?
yeah, it was two 20-yard two 15-yard dumpsters.
for $400?
Well, so the estimate was for $1,400. Let me see if I can pull it up. But it was for all the trash cans and stuff. I didn't know. So I know that just from the
Yeah, yeah.
dumpsters, it's not gonna be that
I'm
much.
building on trash.
But I will try, let me try to find it.
The owner of Hampshire Growing lives in Granby, he has a dumpster company too.
Barnard,
Yeah, I did, I see, I did have that $1,400, yeah.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull up the estimate here.
says Barnard Sheet one, isn't there, or something like that?
Varnish.
Yeah.
They're in Granby, but they're on the West Street, saw that, beside Granby.
Yeah, these things, that towing, Hampshire towing all the time.
So it's one time we talked about shirts, it's,
What's that stupid tiny house thing they got out there?
Yeah. I know.
Right outside that,
You know,
I just thought it was funny. to see
well,
that.
that's what I feel, I know we talked about GG and the shirts, I can go down there and get things rolling, I just didn't know.
let's do it.
If someone else, okay,
Go where?
for the shirts,
Oh, GG's.
right, so, what are we looking?
We have to get
Yeah,
everybody's,
list of,
literally everybody's size.
so just the board members.
The board members, yes, I don't know what they do, but I think it's 36 shirts.
That's for June 11th through the 16th.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, I just, the shirts are for,
Should have a few trusted volunteers.
just for the board members.
Staff,
550.
yeah.
550.
The staff is not volunteers too, no, we're not.
Like I said, we're still trying for the free, but
Doing the volunteers.
Ones that are like very, very helpful.
I mean, if there's a minimal of
Yeah.
36, we would just,
So
Okay.
it's 3, 6, 9, 12. I mean, that's
we need different colors for different days.
3 different colors. It was, what did we say?
Why,
pink?
why is that?
Yeah, what?
because they said your shirts are gonna be dirty and you're not gonna wanna wear it.
Well, I get it, but why would you just have the same color, why do you need a different color?
You know, we can do whatever
Yeah,
we
this seems like a
choose.
waste of money, right?
Right.
Isn't it? Like three
That's-
different
Well,
colors?
because they're gonna want, if you do 3 different colors, I don't know if they're gonna charge you 36 of each color.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we just need the
Just get the
shirt.
same, yeah, just get the same
Let's just see,
color.
let's see what his minimum is, if you could, and
Yeah,
then,
I'll
you
find
know, a simple front graphic, probably
Yeah,
single color.
he
and
already
then
has
rear.
all of our, the GP's already has
From the
everything.
past, yeah, yeah.
I
and
ordered
then-
from GG's
They
for
just
like
have to s-
fundraising stuff before, the minimum was 12.
Well,
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he already
I'm
has,
just going by what
he
this.
does have everything, and he told me to just contact the woman, he has someone who
I
runs
think the
that,
36 is probably
that section.
12 times 3, can you 36?
Yeah.
So you think it's 12?
That's what it's been in the past, yeah, for,
So,
Runs.
if we get all the same color, who wants, what color do we want?
Something bright so you can see
High
us.
vis.
distinguish.
High vis, yeah.
I'd see that.
There's 8 of
I
us,
don't know, Glenn's
This
pouring
is-
one right
That's
now.
what I live in. High vis.
Well, we're looking for a minimum of 24, because if it's 8 of us,
Right.
like they're saying, they're dirty, I get it.
Yeah, you're not gonna get one.
So, one for each day.
I mean, there's parking volunteers, all right, or are we just giving?
We're,
them
we're,
the
ours
best?
are all gonna say staff on it,
Okay,
so.
okay.
So for
I
the
know,
people that
I
are
like
working
that.
the gate,
Yeah, I don't know
do
what
we
we
just, do
did.
we just get,
Give them the high vis
we
vest.
just get a high vis vest, and we
Vest.
just 5 of them, and if there's 2, 4, 6, 8, we get 10 of them, and that covers the people volunteering at the gate, then when their shift's over, they hand it off to the next guy.
And they might be in the shed. Who's got the key to the shed?
We
We do.
can get it, yeah,
Yeah,
Or, did you write it?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a passcode.
yeah, there's a passcode for it,
Yep.
I'll tell you later.
Okay,
Not on G.
tell me after.
Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna grab the aprons, I'm gonna get a feel for,
Yeah, let me know, cause I have a bunch, if we need more.
I didn't see any.
Aprons.
Yeah, like the Home Depot ones, you know, like the ones that simple like
okay.
that.
I didn't see any aprons. Oh, I think they said that they're in the trailer. The trailer? Yeah, they bring a trailer over for,
I think they're in the shed. I think
I
that
don't-
what
I
you're
don't
talking
remember
about is where
seeing-
they would go to that trailer, cause that's where
Oh,
like
okay.
all of the board members would work out of.
So we just want, not the same thing, like 12 high vis.
Yeah, just like
Just, yeah.
the other vests, like something simple,
Simple,
100%,
cheap, and.
yeah. And they're reusable, so it would be a one time.
Yeah, you can get those things for like $5 a piece.
Yeah, if we're less, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All the company.
Alright, so,
So Randy, while we're on that, we were talking about, somebody mentioned the trailer. Do we have a trailer lined up? for-
oh, yes, the gentleman that was here at the first meeting,
Yeah.
the older gentleman.
Randy,
Yeah.
George
Huh?
Randall.
George.
No, not George.
George, another gentleman.
Richie Gay.
Yes, it was, yes, it was Rich.
So-
Is that for sure? Is that-
Yes, he said he was bringing the trailer. He's like, I'm not doing anything, but I'll bring the trailer.
So,
Who was that? Remember?
Richie Gay.
Richie Gay. Richie Gay.
Richie Gay?
Yeah.
The father.
And Jen, I think I'll take you up on your golf cart.
Yep.
Not so much for me, but like
The
if we're
runner.
gonna send a runner.
yeah, you're welcome to it. Did you,
That's a good one.
did you sign
Well,
did
he
you
offered
lock
last
in
meeting,
those two golf carts in the tent?
and then I thought about it afterwards.
For the meeting on Monday, they have to go over those contracts.
So,
They have to approve all that.
okay.
But it's ready.
But I don't think they're contracts. I think we just have to say yay or nay.
Oh, yeah, well, I say okay on the
We'll just put it in front of them, but did you reach out to Rediker with the tent?
no, I'll do that first thing tomorrow morning.
Please do,
because-
because we're getting into like graduation season, yeah.
Because, I mean, like I said, I didn't know that every contract has to be brought through over to them.
Yeah,
or
but we
for them
could, you
to
can,
sign.
we can still
We can still get the ball
Get 'em
rolling,
all
or just like,
rolling.
get it,
Yeah,
like,
I'll call
get
them.
them approved here.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're
Yeah.
just gonna rubber.
I just
stamp
don't want
us.
us to lose out on the two
Yeah.
parts, cause we do need them,
yeah,
and then the tent, the big tent.
all right.
Okay. So yeah, just maybe you should,
Write that on the envelope too.
yeah,
Yeah,
come,
first thing in the
come
morning.
back to me.
Needed a piece of paper?
I've got my pad at home.
Did you get
So-
info on it?
Yep, so deal with the dumpsters is, he could bring two 15-yarders. It's $500 per dumpster, includes 2 tons. If you go over, it's $200 per ton.
Sounds good.
And if someone wants to be cute and throw a mattress or tire in there, you're gonna get whacked. So,
Cool,
So
so,
who's that?
Theory Construction, yeah, Theory.
So that's more than
Yeah.
what Kim got a quote for, so
Yeah,
we
we were
we have
looking for
our
a donation.
backup.
yeah, we were just looking for another option for a donation, so obviously,
In theory,
stick with our.
Get Theory.
oh,
So who's doing the, are you doing the sign up genius?
I was trying to get someone,
Okay.
so I'm not computer savvy, I'm not, that's
Yeah.
not something you want me to be. So, trying to find somebody, cause obviously that would be helpful.
Cause we just got the email today, last night for, the sign up genius. So I don't know whoever's gonna take over that.
That's all for,
okay.
How does that, how does it work?
I
So-
I dabbled in it.
I spoke with Crystal when we were getting into the shed, and she said that she was gonna reach out to the girl that did it in the past.
Yeah.
But she said that she might want to.
There's that.
Is that still true, or?
I don't know.
So we got forwarded, I have no idea, I know that that person's mother had just passed or something, and there were some issues on why we didn't know that to come forward right away, which is, you know, understandable, and it's just,
Sure.
it's,
Be next
yeah,
meeting.
I'm not aware of anybody that's, has
For
taken
Randy?
over.
Right, and the person that I thought I had
I
rescinded.
wear t-shirts all year long.
Oh, Jen?
Yeah.
Jen Burnett.
Two X big enough to cover a
Jen's-
Yes, but the town won't.
Yeah, I think pretty much Crystal and Jen were your show on.
You're on, you're on, that's all
Maybe,
I'm
maybe we
saying.
can reach out and see if, you
I'm
know,
not saying I don't
she
either.
still wants to. Yeah.
Name the size.
We got Jen Burnett.
Sign the paper. Am I drawing pretty? You can see it.
BERNATTCHEC.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Be hot anyways.
Yeah.
Some of
that's
those nice
just
light
Jen
t-shirts too.
Charlie.
It's like hot.
Oh, I know, I don't like the fit, I know.
What was the price on the dumpsters? That's why I sent them.
Well, the first one's free for donation.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was not gonna be.
that was,
The second one was like.
they're a regular
That
vendor.
was.
They showed
Oh,
you
you sent it?
what I got.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was
They
like.
show you it or?
It was.
Another hit this weekend.
Okay.
Did you send it? Yeah, you sent it.
There's 2 tons
Yeah, we're
of
good.
trash.
That's for a regular vendor.
Yeah. No, yeah, and then I sent.
Yeah, whatever.
I sent out a food one also.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, for the food one.
For the,
It was
yeah,
like-
for
like, you keep
Friday.
that, actually.
That's good, cause I was,
so
Yeah,
for,
we just-
times-
What color?
I say high vis pink. That's what I'm saying.
Orange,
I could
yellow?
care less.
Or is it different?
I don't, that's looking for
I
pink
look
over
good
here.
in green.
I like pink too.
Pink and green.
Pinks?
I could care less.
Alright.
I know, Glenn, you're more of a winter. I don't think pink would go with.
I can wear anything, but.
I don't even know what that means.
Looks like I look like Barney, so no purple, but other than that.
Purple.
Alright, well,
Whatever's cheapest.
Yeah.
Somebody,
so Crystal, I spoke with
Oh,
Crystal
that's good.
regarding the
Then-
pump, cause we have to start running the pump over there.
Water pump, yeah.
Mark's gonna run me through that this weekend.
Alright.
And I'll throw in our group chain of when I'm gonna go meet him over there, so if anybody wants to meet
Yeah.
us over there.
Yeah,
get an
I'll
idea.
meet you over there.
Just to see it, just so we all know, so Mark doesn't feel like he's gonna do it every day. And then he's gonna let me know when the sign gets numbered. This extra fellow out here does it. He's got a little vinyl machine. And he says when it's done, he'll call Mark and then they're gonna go hang it in over by Duncan.
What happened to the one we found that had it already?
That was the wrong one. She didn't realize that. So she went and dug out the right one.
Said the 13, 14, 15 thousand.
It's a bigger one, I
Oh,
guess,
okay.
because they hang it down by the Duncan. Yeah, right over.
so it's nice of Mark to do all that too.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I said. I was like, it'd be nice just to run us through it. So we know, and we have
Yeah.
to test the water, then we have to treat it, and give it an X amount of time. So
I might
it's a process. So
I might be able to get involved with that too.
yeah, I'll let you guys all know when I head over there. Jeez.
I'll swing by as long as it doesn't interrupt my physical therapy.
Yeah. And then I think something that I think we should all have something like this for the event. So what I did was I just printed off an overhead of the whole event, right? I can get a little bit more detailed on it as we get closer, what's going where, but I think just to name some of our bigger areas, logistically as we're there working.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
When
it's
we all have
like,
radios, be like, all right, where are you? I'm in lot A,
Do we
B,
have
C.
videos?
We will.
Yes, the police department.
Oh,
I guess we'll let us borrow some. So I didn't know. I just kind of threw some ideas. Lot A, or is this the 202 lot? Is this the Kendall Street? Right. So what are your guys' thoughts on this? Because I can start putting something together a little bit better with better coloring and lines and everything, and then I can start adding in.
definitely the lots, I think if we name them off the street, it's
Yeah.
gonna be
I think it
easier.
should be a little bit
It's like
easier,
A, B, C, so
Yep.
Taylor Street,
yeah.
202.
202,
No.
and,
Kendall.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah, no,
what we're
that's
gonna
great, John.
assign, we're gonna
That is
assign
great.
people's work. You're gonna assign volunteers for you, be like, hey, go to this entrance, the 202 entrance, and, you know,
Right.
it's your time to swap out or whatever.
Yep. Off you go, split spot. It's good now.
I'll just kind of lay it out and do that.
That's
So
what
then we
we're
can have one hanging up in the thing, so that way whoever has to go run out knows where they have to go to bring.
Yeah.
Well, it's only the two of you that can actually collect the.
Well, we gotta sort all that out.
And you, my
Yeah,
friend.
it's,
Oh,
we, yeah, actually,
Thank you, Mr. Chair guy.
yeah, before we named an assistant treasurer, it was said in the first meeting that the chair is the assistant treasurer.
Yes.
So now we have an assistant to the
Assistant
assistant.
to the assistant.
I like
So-
it. More assistants, the better.
Yes. can I have-
We gotta work out,
Same people.
Well, we get close to it.
I know.
sign receipt, I'm giving you petty cash,
Yeah,
you know, all that stuff. We're gonna have,
Yeah.
Checks
and balances. for sure.
Yeah.
Lights with the shirts, are we good to order them, or do we have to come back with numbers first? Is there a budget
Let's order
to
'em.
pass? Is there-
we technically don't have a budget.
Okay,
We're using that word.
right, but
We
I'm
have,
just.
we have history and we're
Was
saying,
is there a number that was in a line item in the past that said shirts?
No.
No.
Was it a supply?
So, no, just
I
probably.
mean, I think it's probably gonna be our best bet anyways, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Shit.
He helps donate, you know, he donates a lot, so, you know, I'm fine with that.
We'll just, I'll be all over, it's no problem.
the only other question that I have, so you said on the contract, you gotta go from.
All
Are
the
the
contracts
contracts
have to
with
be
the,
Brought
with
to
the
the,
band set?
everybody, yeah,
Those are set.
The bands are set,
the bands are set, the contracts have to be given to the select board.
Correct, but they're,
So we-
they're locked in.
so we signed it, sent it to them.
No, we don't sign. They have to sign,
They
So all
signed
this
it and
being
sent
done
them
on
to
Monday.
us.
yes.
So they, okay.
Yeah.
Crystal just texted that if we bring the stuff tomorrow, give it to the select board, they'll sign off.
Yes,
So.
so that's why I
It's
said
like
that.
Dory.
We're still waiting on, Marcus portables.
No, I haven't, the cables,
Oh, Dad,
yeah, if
Okay.
you looked in there, it's in there. I printed it out and I forgot it.
that's okay.
Right on my printer.
That's okay, cause we can just, I mean, we had all agreed to go with them anyways, so we'll just.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it over to town hall tomorrow. I think it's just so that they end up using signing up and not the town, printing out all the stuff.
It's expensive.
For a whole room of,
You know.
I know, that's why I stopped, I'm like, oh no.
No.
Mm-mm.
So,
Is there anything else for tonight we need to cover?
yeah, but, do we have somebody lined up to run the dump tank?
yes, that's gonna be all, I'm gonna put the money up for the dunk tank, it's all gonna be done by the high school.
High school kids.
Yeah, and all the money goes to the class, but that's.
I did reach out to a couple, of the coaches about that already, so that's in the works. But the dunk tank is reserved.
Okay. Yeah, we know that. And are we doing a bump house? Did we just say no?
A bounce house,
Yeah, we decided not to do that, because it's expense and the time.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
cause we would have to have volunteers there,
Staffing it.
staffing it at all times.
Something that to think about is, do we have, I know we're gonna have a home base for the trailer.
Yeah.
But do we, with that home base of the trailer, do we have a tent that is in support of this group of people? With, you know, I know we talked about doing water bottles, we talked about doing certain things, I don't necessarily think that
Well, I
water bottles
would
are
like
the answer, to
something-
be honest with you, but
Oh,
I think having like a tent that is ours, where people can come to with like maybe possible first aid kits, things like that.
Yeah.
In maybe some
Sure, like
swag
a-
or, you know, or just be like, hey, volunteers, like, we love volunteers, we love people helping, like,
Do it under the pavilion or use that, somewhere, isn't there? space
Nobody's
in there?
using the pavilion, so I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah.
And there's a lock space too, isn't there, like a little kitchen? and
Where was the trailer in the past?
Yeah, where
Right,
was
right dead center, when you drive into the Kindle Street side, right, get that dirt parking lot,
Yeah.
right there in the front, right there next to the, between there. The little
gazebo.
gazebo.
So it's in a pretty high traffic spot.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Oh, we need, vendor, air tags. tags for, musicians. For the bands. One gets
I'm with
two
Beijing.
tags
Free park,
for parking, because they get free parking.
yes,
I just kind of had a question. So Sunday is Father's Day. We are having a fair. Like, does anybody like thought of like having some kind of like event for kind of for fathers to try to attract maybe more business?
We should probably think about that. I mean, just like something for the dads that are out there.
Something, yeah.
Put their kids in the dunk tank.
Hey,
Yes.
that's not a bad idea.
Put their moms in the dunk tank. Yeah, I'm not going to
That's what we call them, dad.
Yeah. But I mean, just it's Father's Day, like that day, and just to
Yeah.
kind of drag or to attract more attention, business. Maybe if we had some kind of events or something like that.
I just want quiet.
Yeah,
You ain't getting
yeah,
quiet.
but they-
You're on this committee. Nope.
Not this year. We're usually at a baseball or soccer field.
Or soccer fields, yeah.
Yeah.
So that volunteer sign up will be critical to parking, collecting parking money, being runners.
Yep.
We may not have enough people to sell water, and I don't think that's the loss, right?
No.
No, that's all right.
Well-
It's a good thought. I mean, but
Saturday morning, Friday and Saturday, John's gonna have the cows there. We can always put it right by there with a big cooler and just fill it up with water and put $2 on it, and he's gonna be there. Everybody else could be there, just collect the money.
all right. Well, it's
Another detail.
visit. Yes. All right. So it is 8:30. Is there any other pressing business for tonight that we have? All right.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, GM. Appreciate you guys, man. Sorry for the